Yeah. Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Wednesday, August the 24th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Trading tactics, part two with Walmal. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. Walmal, I don't remember where exactly we left off on the tactics yesterday.
I guess we were discussing the difference between a strategy and a tactic, and how that applies to forex. There obviously are different tactics, different strategies that you can go and employ. You can employ, and the idea of a strategy, at least from my point of view, a strategy is the overall plan of what and how you and when are you going to achieve something. In other words, it's your game plan for the whole thing. I guess we could call that, our trading plan from my perspective. And then your tactics are the different things that you employ within that strategy to go and achieve that strategy, to actually go and implement that strategy. So, you have a strategy. You say you want to get from here. I'm sitting here with a very, very small account, and I want to build my account up. Okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do that? And the strategy will go and outline all the different things you're going to do. It may even go, and it should go even down as far as telling you what type of tactics are you going to use. What tactics do you think are going to be best to be used? And the idea is that, I think I talked about the idea of, you want to make sure that whatever tactics you're using, whatever strategy you're using, bears out in terms of data. That's the whole idea of a strategy, is that it needs to bear out in terms of data. Well, how can we do that in trading? Well, I think the way you go and do that is that, I know TRO, you're similar to me in this way. We may not trade exactly the same way, but one thing we both do is that we love looking at the statistics and trying to figure out where do we have things that make sense based on what things have done in the past. And the big disclaimer, of course, is past performance doesn't indicate, future. It really doesn't. But at the same time, what it does do is it may give you a hint as to what the future may be.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking though, since we're really talking about tactics, it's we could possibly focus on something for the boys, girls, and non-binary traders out there. So, for example, I've got the M1 chart up with the Walmall lines, and price opened above the 70, so that made the 70 the Walmall line. It came down, and then it hit the daily open, which was about 6 pips below. So
Right.
there was a nice chance to make 6 pips, but if you didn't take it, the very next 1 minute candle came all the way back up and to and above the 70 line. And now this current candle is heading back down. So
Right.
it's like, so what would be the tactics that you would employ?
Okay, well, I'll go and I actually took that trade, so I'll go and say exactly what I did, because that may make it easier. And that is that when it went and crossed it, okay, that first 1 minute candle, actually on my chart anyway, it crossed the 70, and then what it did was, the next candle opened up above it, and it ran up to, I want to say maybe 72 or 73, and I waited and just waited for it to cross it again. And when it crossed it again, I went in, and when it crossed at that time, I went in at that point in time, took the chance, because that's all it is. I'm taking a chance. But that's my tactic, to go and do that. I wait for that to happen, and I went and took it. And when I was up about 3 pips, I went and got out. But of course, brokers being brokers, and the way the market moves, I think I got maybe 2.1 instead of 3 pips, which is what, that's just what's going to happen. If I wasn't on this call, or on this video, I would have gone and taken the next trade. And the next trade was when it went above it, okay, that big white candle that came back on my chart, maybe not on your chart because it's so close, but it did close 1 point above the 70 line. I'm not sure what it did on yours, Piero. And then what I would have done was when it crossed it again, okay, and across the 70 again, I would have taken that short again. But, you know, of course, I would have been a little bit madder this time because I would have gone and only been looking for maybe, again, 2 pips or 3 pips, you know, and this time you could have gotten 10 pips on it. That's just, you know, that's just part of trading. And that's my tactic. Okay, and because what I'm doing is, or my strategy, my tactic, however you want to define that, and that is that I'm just trying to go and, as you like to say, stack bricks. I'm just looking, just take a couple bucks and put them in the bank. Take a couple bucks and put them in the bank, and if you do that, you know, all day long, what happens is by the end of the day, you've made goal and you've made the amount of money that you need to make. Now, my overall tactic on that should have been something along the lines of, and what it normally is on a regular basis is that I stay in the trade until it stops moving. Once it stops moving my direction, I just jump out, just get out, because then it's it can go either way. So that's generally what I would have done, and I wasn't paying attention closely enough to see what it did on the way down there. I don't know if it stopped or not, but you know that's. Why wouldn't I have done that today? Because what I've seen today, and this is an observational thing, you know, and that's part of your tactic. You got to pay attention to what's going on and observe what I'll call the brokers the enemy. Okay, observe what the enemy is doing, or call the market the enemy. You know, and observe what it's doing. And today, it's done a lot of this where it runs down 2, 3, 4, 5 pips in your direction, and it stops and hesitates. And then you get a big candle in the other direction against you. And now, you know, it's type of thing. If you're the type of trader that, you know, your strategy is you're doing some type of swing trading, or you're doing long, you know, you got big stops in there, and you got you know, you're looking for bigger pips. You wouldn't care about that. That just it just went back to where I went in. Who cares, you know? But I'm not doing that. You know, I'm trading heavier because I'm just looking to get those 1, 2, 3 pips. And so when it goes against me, that's a big deal for me. Whereas another person with a different type of strategy, that would be no big deal at all.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, in fact, right before the call, I had asked you, why don't you set your TP, since you're just looking for 2 pips ahead of time? And you were saying usually it takes you longer to set your TP because you're only in the trade for a few seconds. And then I said,
Exactly.
well, you know, why don't you have a EA to automatically put that in there for you? So I mean,
And I said to you, I think my EA does that, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go look.
yeah. So I mean,
But
it's like, so employing an EA to do certain things for you, or an indicator, that would also be a tactic.
oh, absolutely, because you know if there's something that you do on a regular basis, because that's what keeps you, you know, keeps you out of trouble and keeps you honest, and you know that this is the way you trade because you know this is your strategy, you know, of how you're going to go make money. Then yeah, I mean, employ the tools that are available to you, you know, and the broker gives you some tools. There are EAs that are available out there that'll help you with entering a trade or exiting a trade. You know, employ them. You know, we have to take advantage as traders. You know, we've got so many things that are, I don't want to say stacked against us because that sounds so negative, but there are so many things that can go against us, you know, because of the way the market moves. We got to take advantage of every single tool that's out there that can help us.
Now, once again, price went above the 70, failed to close below it on the previous 2 1-minute candles. Would you have gone short, or did you
No,
go short?
I wouldn't have, because the thing is, I would have picked up, you know, between the 2 trades, I would have picked up a minimum of 5 pips,
Right.
and I'd be looking at this. Okay, I want something a little like right now, I'd consider going short right here, though.
Yeah, well,
And
you're going into the previous day's lower wick zone if you go short here.
yeah, I'm aware of that, but at the same time, if we've noticed that it's gone down to that 60 line a couple of times. So for whatever reason, that 60 is acting as like some type of magnet.
Right.
Coming out of a flip flop box. So it's just type of thing where I'm not looking to get, I'm not looking for it to go down to 55. I'm looking for it to get down to, let me see where I think it would get to, where I'd probably get out is somewhere around 62, 63, and so you'd only be picking up, 2 pips there, and I take the chance there. Whether it does it or not, I don't know, but that's just, that's part of trading. But right now, I would have taken that short into that flip-flop box there on the top, especially if I had already gone in at this, at the lower end of that box. And now I would have been getting out with like between the 2 trades, 3 or 4 pips.
I'll have to put are you on the 1 minute flip flop?
Yeah, on a 1 minute
Yeah,
flip flop.
I have to switch over a chart so the traders can see what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, that 60 today has been a magnet, for over at least the last half hour or so, it's been a magnet. And look what it did. Ran down to that 60 again. Pick up another couple pips, and I'm not, like I said, my strategy is I'm not trying to go and pick up, 20 pips in a trade. I'm trying to pick up 2 or 3 pips, and I'm thrilled with that, because if I can do that over and over again, I'll get my 20 or 30 pips, and this is not, I'm trying to not be braggadocious or anything like that, but right now for the day, I'm up 34 pips. And I think the biggest win I had was 4 pips. So, it's that's just the way I trade, and yeah, I'm in a lot of trades. Let me tell you how many trades I've been in for today. For transparency, I've been in 22 trades, and my efficiency for the day has not been very good, but it's like 78%. Normally, I like to see that about 89%. So I've had a number of trades that went against me, but that's part of trading. You're gonna have days like that. Yesterday, I think I had 1 loss. And I think I took about the same number of trades I've taken today, and I only had 1 loss, and it was a very, very small loss. But that's but that's my tactic. That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to find what's comfortable for them.
Yeah, because one thing that I've noticed, especially about taking the 1 or 2 pips, is if you're going against, say, the H1 or M30 candle color, or even the daily, when you take, if the market smiles upon you and gives you that opportunity, just take it, and don't even wait for the extra, 1 or 2 tenths. So
yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because if you're trading against the H1 or the M30, unless is the tide changed within that candle where you're starting to see that, okay, it's now made a decision, it's going to go back towards the other end of it. Unless that has happened, more times than not, it's going to continue in the same direction or stay exactly where it's at. That's generally what it does. And how do we know that? We know that through statistics, and we see that, and it's observational. Excuse me. It's sort of like I had observed a while back that the on the pound dollar, it loves to go and run in a particular direction, and then the second half of the hour it likes to run back towards the middle of wherever it went and ran to, and then it'll either go back to where it was, or they'll leave a big wick there. And that was just purely observational. And then you you used a frequency distribution thing, and you were able to see that, yeah, it does do that.
Yeah.
And that gives you another hint.
Yeah.
I think we're almost out of time, sir.
Yes, we are. So, fellow traders, we'll continue talking about these tactics on an upcoming video. So, what tactics do you employ? Maybe you could reply. And also, remember, hit that like button. Help me move my videos up in the YouTube algorithm. And when you're trading, always remember, never forget, It's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.